All right, we back with another episode. Ahmad, you see the hat, Los Angeles Lakers. There's a reason why I'm out in LA right now, and I just want to, remind the world of who the 2022 champs will be. But if you had to, say a team right now, I think I already know who you're gonna say. But who's your, I guess, too early prediction to win the whole thing?
I mean, you know where I live, so.
What? That's first of all. That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant.
I live in the best city in the world. So if I had to give the edge too early, I'm going with that I'm going with that BK team. Three best isolation players in the league all on the same team. That's my too early prediction. Now, who I want to win, that's something totally different. But too early prediction, probably the Brooklyn Nets. We'll see though. It's gonna get serious.
Yeah, I mean, we're entering a time now where it's a possibility that Russell Westbrook might be getting his first championship. So
Lord knows I'll be happy.
That's always a blessing. But talking about championships, with this upcoming year and even this past year, in my hand, for those of you watching on lovely YouTube.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, I see it. Let's get it.
That's what they got me talking about today.
Yeah, and for my lovely people listening on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, in my hand, I am holding a cover with none other than Mr. Finals MVP himself, Mr. Giannis Antetokounmpo. And it's time. It says Giannis activated on the cover, newest Slam cover. Make sure you get yours. But yeah, man, what are your expectations for Giannis going into this season?
30 and 10. Another 30 and 10, another top 3 seed in the East with the Milwaukee Bucks, possibly another Eastern Conference Finals appearance at the bare minimum. If the Bucks are who Theus believes they are, at the bare minimum they should be an Eastern Conference Finals appearance. Knock on wood if they're healthy, of course, and stuff like that. Injuries though, you know how that goes. But those are my expectations. Hopefully, I would like this year if Giannis. I don't know what he does in the off season because we never have any footage on Giannis. He's one of those players that you have no footage. He's he has an old school type of mentality. Like he's in the gym without the cameras on. You got to respect that too, because some guys be in the gym all summer. Not gonna say no names. Then when the lights come on, they not doing none of that. none of that. So you got to respect Giannis. So hopefully, I would like to see Giannis probably this season. Whatever he's worked on this all season, I would like to see if he's, added stuff to his bag. Maybe improving on his 3-point shot, improving on his pull-up game in the second zone of the basketball court, maybe improving on just shooting the midi in general, maybe post fadeaways and stuff like that. His skill set is what I'm looking for. So hopefully, he's improved on that this year. That's kind of what I'm looking forward to, though. But 30 and 10, easy. That's easy. Scratching in the box office.
I mean, on the cover too, it says Giannis activated. So I think this season was I won't even say a turnaround, but just a big moment for him. Obviously, outside of just winning the championship, but now really putting himself in that category, in that tier that you and I so often talk about. And so now I think he's put the entire world, the entire league on notice. Like, hey guys, it's no longer just a league dominated by 2, individuals. I'm here now.
God.
And so But I'm saying though now, listen, that's what I'm saying. This is a big year for a lot of guys. This is a big year for LeBron. This is a big year for Giannis. This is a big year for KD. You can make the case that they all have something to prove, right? Giannis, now that, the Lakers and Nets are going to be fully healthy, maybe he has something to prove. KD, people, getting tired of, there's no way that Giannis is on the same level of Kevin Durant. All right, well, he's got something to prove. LeBron, it's like every year, crazy enough, LeBron has something to prove because people feel like, all right, this Wash King narrative. So now it's just going to be very interesting to see. I won't say who takes that final step because I'm not going to say that about
what about
these three. But
you didn't mention one player.
I don't need to.
Stephen Curry.
Well, okay.
But Stephen Curry got something. He ain't been in the playoffs in 2 years. Everybody's kind of like saying that the Golden State Warriors aren't going to be the same. I'm saying that. So he has something to prove as well. So add him to that list. Don't disrespect him.
Well, it's no disrespect. I mean, if that's the case, I could have named you like 12 guys that have something to prove, but I just wanted to list off those 3. We can do that. If you want to name like 10 guys that have something to prove this season, Steph Curry's on the list. So is James Harden. So is Damian Lillard. So is
Russell Westbrook is on that list.
Okay, all right. What is it that you feel? What is it that you feel that Russell Westbrook has to prove?
Russell Westbrook has never been in a team situation where he's not been the first or second option. So he's come to a situation where he's going to be the third option on a championship caliber team. So I'm eager to see how does he fit that role. I think he's going to fit actually well because he's going to have less pressure and expectations. But at the same time, he still has something to prove because like we know what Anthony Davis is going to do. We know what LeBron James is going to do. And the real question is like, can Russ fit in with those guys? I think he's going to be fine. But it's a lot of people that have questions, you know. Me, talent is talent. You acquire talent and you figure the rest out. So that's why I think the Lakers are going to be fine. But it's a lot of people that got questions on fit, on Russell Westbrook. Can he be a third option? Russell Westbrook mentality, all these types of things. So he has something to prove as well.
Facts. Yeah, and I mean, I think we talked about it in a previous episode too. Like obviously, you know, we talk about chemistry and fit, but as you mentioned, anytime you got talent, you kind of figure it out, hopefully. But a good thing too is about Russ that people fail to acknowledge is he's smart. Right, his basketball IQ is off the charts, as well as LeBron James. So I think anytime you put those two guys together, you know, anything can happen. Especially too, I think, you know, Russ knows what's at stake here, and I think I heard Melo mention it too. It's like these guys are at a point in their career where they know, like, all right, this really is like the best opportunity for them to win. Like it has to be now. It's no longer all right. You know, I got 12 years or whatever left in my career. Like it's low key now or never. And I mean, they know what's at stake. I'm sure they understand the pressure that goes along with having 5 Hall of Famers, you know, on one team. But you know, I'm obviously rooting for them, and not just as a Laker fan, but just, you know, as guys that we watched growing up. You know, especially Russ and Melo, guys who haven't had an opportunity to win a chip just yet. But we're gonna see, man. You know, those guys in Milwaukee still got something to say. I know everybody talking about this LA versus Brooklyn battle, but I'm not gonna sit here and turn my head at the reigning champs. That's just a fact, bro.
Yeah, we'll see what Miami is about this season too. I think I just don't we gonna talk about this throughout the entire season, but don't be surprised if like the Bucks don't. They should reach the Eastern Conference Finals. They won it. They're champions, but sometimes it is a drop off. It's sometimes it's either like they showcase like, yo, we are the champions. We're the team to beat. You have that adrenaline, like kind of like the Toronto Raptors did, even though they lost Kawhi Leonard and stuff. But sometimes it's a drop off. I'm eager to see which way it's going to go with the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, and I mean, right now I think. Go ahead.
No, it's because the East is better this year. It's going to be a bloodbath. So a lot of teams got better.
Yeah, and I mean, going off the East, I think right now the two locks for me in terms of top 2 seeds are definitely Milwaukee and Brooklyn. Right, I don't like the conference definitely got better, but there's no one that's, to me, especially with what's going on in Philly. But with that though, mentioning Philly, and obviously we know it's been some crazy things happening with the Timberwolves. Obviously, you know, on this show we only talk straight hoop. But how would you feel with a trio of Ben Simmons, Cat, and Anthony Edwards? Do you think that's a team that can at least potentially make the playoffs, even though they're in the Western Conference?
I think they can make the playoffs without Ben Simmons. I think they can make the playoffs with Ben Simmons. I think D'Angelo Russell, we just talked about it earlier this week. We talked about D'Angelo Russell and his impact and how great D'Angelo Russell is. He's a pure hooper, pure passer. A lot of people have forgot that D'Angelo Russell led a team to a playoffs. He's been on 4 different teams though. So it's just kind of like people tend to forget about D'Angelo Russell when we talk about some of the best young players, 25 and under. So that's how I feel about that. But Ben Simmons goes to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Is D'Angelo Russell out? Like, I don't know what's the situation.
We're right. And the only reason why I didn't name D'Lo is because if I had to guess, right, D'Lo would have to be a part of that trade package. No, you know, obviously love D'Lo, but I mean, I just don't see the Timberwolves giving up Cat or Anthony Edwards that quickly.
Yeah.
Now, if they can keep D'Lo and still get Ben Simmons, hey, you run with it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you know, you let that fly, but realistically, I just don't see that happening.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. Would be crazy. D'Angelo Russell, Anthony. That would be insane. That would be like a young, probably potential dynasty.
Yeah, because then you got Ben at the 4, right? You know, you got I mean, but yeah, that's wishful thinking. If they can pull it off, hey.
Yeah, but if you're the Philadelphia Sixers you get D'Angelo Russell in return, even though you give up Ben Simmons, maybe a couple of draft picks, who knows? But D'Angelo Russell's game is pure scorer, pure hooper, still young. He's a guy that led the Brooklyn Nets as a number 1 option. He's been on 4 teams in his young career, and I think people tend to forget like how great of a young player he is. He doesn't get a lot of credit, and he's super underrated. We talked about a couple pods ago about his greatness, about his ability and stuff like that. But the real question is, we're talking about Ben Simmons, Karl Anthony Towns. It's rumors that he's upset that the Timberwolves fired the GM. And it's like people are talking about, Karl Anthony Towns may want out of Minnesota. And we kind of touched back on 2 pods ago talking about Karl Anthony Towns and will he want to get out of Minnesota, because a lot of people in the league are starting to underappreciate his greatness. Know his relationship with Leon Rose with the New York Knicks. I'm hearing Knicks fans, as soon as you start hearing like rumors and stuff, Nick, this is why I don't like New York Knicks fans, because they're so annoying and they say things like, I wouldn't give up RJ Barrett for Karl Anthony Towns.
Bro,
that's crazy. That's insane.
I think Knicks fans and Heat fans might be very, very similar, because I remember the same. You said the player name. I won't say the player name, but they were talking about they didn't want James Harden for him. And I'm just like, guys, I get it. Loyalty is beautiful. I respect it.
It's crazy.
I would not be that loyal, but hey, come on now. When you are able to receive a talent like that, come on now. What are we doing?
Then they talking about, I know he won Most Improved Player of the Year. I know he's worked on his game for the time he's came into the league to become a all-star, Most Improved Player. But people are talking about Julius Randle's better than Karl Anthony Towns. Slow the hell down. Like, let's not get crazy. Like, Karl Anthony Towns is a 7-foot sharp shooting center. He's something we've never seen in the NBA. I think people got to understand, like, yo, he's serious. And if he can stay healthy, that's probably the biggest question mark, his health. But he's special. He's special.
All right, do me a favor. Rank these 3 players: Julius Randle, Karl Anthony Towns, and Zion Williamson.
God, man. That's... I'm going to go Karl Anthony Towns.
You got 2 Kentucky, 1 Duke.
I'm going to go Karl Anthony Towns. I'm going to go Zion, and I'm going to go Julius Randle.
Okay, I'm going to tell you something, though. The one thing about Julius, though, of that group, he won this year. And I know, and I already know. I'm not sitting here saying that's the should be the deciding factor. And no am I saying that's why, he's better than him or whatever. But you call it what it is. He was the best player on a team that was a 4th seed in the East. Look at me defending the New York Knicks fans. What a lovely day.
Until playoffs came.
Right, but until
playoffs came. Because that's when all that regular season, you can be the best player during the regular season, and the playoffs, we look to you to be that best player, and you don't show up, and you a shell of yourself. That's, it don't really mean nothing. It don't hit the same, Theus. It don't hit the same.
But fortunately for him, the gentlemen that we're comparing him to in this conversation weren't even there. So it ain't like, I'm saying.
And ain't like Karl Anthony Towns ain't been to a playoffs. And also Zion Williamson is super young. And we know the situation in Oregon because they about to lose 2 generational talents in the span of 10 years.
All right. We know the AD.
They lost it.
Don't say, come on, man. Don't say Zion this shit, bro.
It's over. Winning heals everything, they say. But let me tell you something. New Orleans Pelicans ain't winning no time soon.
What does losing do? If winning heals everything, what the hell does losing do?
New Orleans Pelicans ain't winning no time soon. And it's crazy because they got Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson on the same team. But you got players like Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies going to the playoffs over a more talented team with a more talented duos. It's crazy.
All right, so whose fault is that? Whose fault is that, though?
The GM, the coaching. The coaching, because you got to make a choice. Brandon Ingram or Zion Williams, who's going to be your number 1 scoring option? Naturally, you should want it to be Brandon Ingram for a ability standpoint, for a getting a bucket from a scoring standpoint. It's easier for him to do things on the basketball court than it is for Zion. But at the same time, against Pelicans, people not coming to see Zion be the second option. That's why we saw Zion damn near playing point guard this year. This past season.
Very, very spooky times. That was something I did not enjoy.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, that's a problem. So it's just like, are you trying to sell tickets, highlights, or are you actually trying to win games? Because if you're trying to win games, then Brandon Ingram got to be the focal point of the offense, the number 1 guy that you got to run the offense through him and let Zion get his points because he's unstoppable. He's going to get his regardless. But trying to really run the offense through Zion Williamson, and he doesn't have a reliable jumper at any level right now. It's like, that's what I'm saying. It's coaching, organization, all that stuff. So he's out. He's out. He gonna sign that. He gonna sign that rookie extension. He's out, bro. It's done.
This man loves saying players are leaving, bro.
It's a done
First,
deal,
you running
bro.
with that Jason Tatum agenda coming to Hollywood.
That's happening.
The vibes.
They gotta get. They
and
gotta
now
get a
you
ring.
got Zion. Let me ask some. Why is it right? And look, I understand that players, what I'm saying, they have the right to request trade and all that. But when is it too soon to do that?
It's definitely too soon. It's too soon with Zion. I'm just talking about.
I wasn't even saying Zion specifically. I just meant in general.
But nah, it's serious. Zion can be serious. Like with the right team, the right personnel. But you look at certain things about that. How is the team looking? How is it building around my strengths? You look at what is the GM saying to me and doing? Like it's different. GMs can say stuff to you, but what are you actually doing? You know what I'm saying? Like Karl-Anthony Towns. Like they fired Karl-Anthony Towns, supposed to be your franchise player. They fired somebody he liked. So it's just kind of like it's just certain things you look at for losing type of organizations like Minnesota Timberwolves, like the New Orleans Pelicans. Because these teams, they've been losing for years. This ain't nothing new. Like they've been losing for years.
Right, but that's it. Losing and losing without making moves are two different things. Like the Timberwolves, they did give Cat D'Lo. Right, the Timberwolves did go out and get Anthony Edwards, even though that was through the draft.
Yeah,
right. But I'm saying, even though that was both during the draft, and but I mean, it ain't like they just ain't been moving at all. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like they just been sitting on their hands. Right? Yeah, they've made some trades. You know what I'm saying? And
that was a bad trade.
But that's what I'm saying though. At some point, is it like, all right, GMs is making moves. When are we gonna start saying, hey? Like the Zion thing, the Pelicans thing, all right, But even that though, with AD, you lose AD, that sucks. But
they're gonna lose 2 generational talents in 10 years, bro. They just lost AD a couple years. They're gonna lose Zion. It's inevitable. Like unless I don't know what can happen, but I don't know what can happen, but I just don't see that really happening. Unless they're winning consistently, getting into at least the second. Unless they have like a Portland Trailblazers type of team with Zion Williams. Like get into the playoffs, you may make it to the second round every 2 years. You may not. Who knows?
Well, I'm gonna say this though. It's still too early to say the free Zion thing.
Of course.
I mean, you gotta be at least 27, 28 before I start yelling that.
Nah, I ain't gonna say that. That's too long. Before Chris Paul came, I was saying free book. It was ugly for 6 years. Yeah, people talking about is Devin Booker good? Like, is Devin Booker overrated? Like that's why I don't never. That's when I start that free. Like I'm saying, free De'Aaron Fox right now because people talking about this player is better. This player is better. I'm like, damn, pump the brakes. De'Aaron Fox is cold. Like he can shoot it. He can pass. He can get to the rim. He can dunk and athletic. Like. And then you start hearing people and analysts and sports media companies rank certain players over certain players because of their team situation. I'm like, look, this player ain't better than Zach LaVine. This player ain't better than Devin Booker. This player.
You're just saying names. Okay, you're just saying names.
I'm just saying names. I'm just saying names.
I got you.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I know you just mentioned Zach LaVine as an example, but that Chicago team, man, when we talk about Eastern Conference, I like what they got in terms of the pieces that they've added,
Now you coming around.
We got ain't no coming around. You know what I'm saying?
Coming around.
We're gonna have a Chicago Bulls episode at some point. Just cause I mean, we know what they did during the offseason, but now, it sounds as if they're the number 1 seed of last year's Eastern Conference. Who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen in the city of brotherly love? But yeah, man, you trying to rock out this cap or no cap? And I think
you got one because I had one last week. Not last week.
Yeah. I mean, since we got, I gotta show this one more time. All right, so since we got this the newest slam cover of Giannis activated, okay. All right, let's make this cap or no cap. How about Mr. Giannis Antetokounmpo? All right, so cap or no cap. Giannis will finish his career with at least 3 championships.
Cap. With the Milwaukee Bucks. That's
damn. Yo, why do you want players to go to different teams so damn much, bro?
I don't know. I'm just saying. You never know.
No. All right, let me stop right there, okay? Because I hear you on the Cat thing, on the Zion thing, the Ben thing, but to me, Giannis doesn't even have a reason to leave. Like he could have.
You see what's on your
contract.
Hat? You see what's on your hat?
I'm saying no. I mean, he won with the team that drafted him. He could have left, right?
Let me tell you something.
I mean, outside of the actual like location, no shade of Milwaukee, but
LA,
Milwaukee.
You start getting older. Your wife start getting Zion. He got I think Giannis. He got a fiance. He got a kid. I mean, you start thinking it's cold in Milwaukee. He may start to want to go to LA. And let me tell you something. Kareem left to that team on your hat. So that's what I'm saying. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, in Milwaukee, no, I would say cap. Somewhere else, maybe so. It just depends on where he goes. Like, I'm not Giannis. What Giannis did for the Milwaukee Bucks, it's been so long. The Milwaukee Bucks since they won their championship, since Kareem, Oscar Robertson was there. So it's just kind of like he's almost at the LeBron territory. Like LeBron got a ring for the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's just like after his contract, you can't say nothing. The same thing with Giannis. When Giannis hit, he got 26 on a 5 year. When he hit 31 or 30, you can't say nothing. Wherever he wants to go, you shake that brother's hand. You say thank you for everything you did with this organization, and you let him go. Now, I'm not saying Giannis will actually leave because Giannis has an old school mentality of probably like
right, exactly, yeah,
like the Tim
yeah.
Duncans and stuff like that. But you never know. You never know. Dwayne Wade left. That's my favorite player of all time.
Yeah, but you know why that was a completely different situation.
I know why he left, but I'm just saying. But like sometimes players do decide to leave, so we never know. Like, what if the Milwaukee Bucks? Like, I think they could be maybe building something kind of similar to the Spurs, maybe. Not going to probably win like back-to-back championships, but could win like every other year. Who knows what's going to happen? But it depends on a lot of situations. It depends on like, what if the Brooklyn Nets re-sign Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant? They still got those guys in their prime. It depends on like the Lakers. It depends on like the Denver Nuggets. It's like a lot of teams are going to get better. Like we don't know. It's a hard thing to say.
I think if the Bucks continue to win, it doesn't even have to be championships, but if they continue to win and compete at a high level, I don't see him leaving. Especially too because they already have a good team, right? I also don't see him leaving to join another super team. I don't see that happening at all. Like, I'm not saying that the Bucks are going to struggle and he'll just stay there, but I think as long as Giannis understands, like, yo, even if we don't win it next year, I'm fully aware that we have a team that can win. We just didn't get it done. You know what I'm saying?
Their window is two years, 2 more years, bro. Because Drew Holiday.
Giannis is 26.
Yeah, I'm talking about with some of their other key pieces. I don't think it's like. Well, Drew Holiday is 30. Like that contract is going to get very dicey after 2 years, and it's just kind of like Chris Middleton is what 29. So it's just
I mean they not like 38. Like it ain't like they pushing retirement.
It depends, bro. Because like as great as the Milwaukee Bucks are right now. By the time in 5 years is a long time. Giannis will be 31 years old. It's kind of like what those players and Chris Middleton to be 5 years. Chris Middleton be 34. Drew Holiday be 35 if he's there that long. It's just kind of like what no free agents don't like coming to Milwaukee. So that can be a situation where Giannis is looking like, yo, I'm 31. This is the first time I've been a real free agent. Like it was a struggle for them to get Drew Holiday. You know, they had to trade. They gave up stuff that damn near superstars should be getting. You know, that was that draft pack. They get like 5 first-round picks for Drew. You know what I'm saying? But they had to do it.
And it worked out. And it worked out. Yeah.
And it worked out. And it's Milwaukee though. So it's just kind of like, who knows in 5 years, are they going to want to try to do that again? That's the big question. So that's why I say it's probably cap for Milwaukee at least.
I mean, that's why I said 3. So right now, obviously he has 1. So all he would need is like, let's say 2 in 10 years. And that's, I guess, a deeper question too is like, can Giannis win 2 championships in 10 years? If
he develops his skill set.
I think he can.
If he develops his skill set. I don't think, we got to understand that like, he's in his prime right now. Well, he's probably entering his prime. But we know what's the fastest thing to go when it comes to like, in basketball. The fastest thing that starts to go downhill is athleticism. So over this that's why I said, like, what I'm looking forward to see for Giannis when I'm watching Giannis in the Bucks, I know he can get you 30 and 10, but I'm looking at other things in his game, the eye test stuff, the skill set, the mid-range, the 3 points, his 3-point better, is his pull-up game, does he have more moves, is he creating off the dribble, you know, How's he doing when he can't get to the rim? Is he adding a floater? Something. All those things. Turnaround jumpers. Can he shoot contested jump shots? Something. I'm just saying those are things I'm looking for. Probably not just this year, but probably the next 4 years. Hopefully he can develop in Milwaukee because that athleticism ain't gonna always be there.
But I'm gonna say this too though. If you think about the other guys or his other counterparts, there won't be too many other players that will be getting in his way. Right, you think about the age difference, right? LeBron, KD, Steph, Kawhi. Those guys got a minimum of 5 years on Giannis. So even if you say, all right, I don't think they're going to win the next 3 or 4, Giannis going to be 29. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to be gone.
That's true. That's true. But it's
obviously younger players are going to develop, of course.
That 25 and younger that we talk about, they coming, and it's not going to be just coming to be oh, looking at Giannis at the top. No, they coming to compete for that top. Luka is coming. Tatum is coming. Those are two right there. And then we even throw in Trae Young is coming. So it's just it ain't Giannis wanted, and that's and to cap this off, that's what we got to give praise to Giannis Antetokounmpo, because not only did he win a championship, he won it where KD's still here, Stephen Curry's still here, LeBron James still here. He's kind of in that middle of he's still part of the new school, but he's still close enough a little bit to the old school as well. So that makes it even more impressive. Yeah,
Giannis is maybe the only guy I want to say that's in the middle of the pack. He's too old to be. Yeah, he's too old to be the 25 under, but he's too young to be there with the OG vets. So it's interesting to see kind of his career trajectory and everything like that. But yeah, man, good episode. Peace.
It's your boy, Ahmad K. Smith, also known as AK. Make sure you guys go follow No Pump Fakes wherever you get your podcasts.